Happy Sunday. I decided to do a free roam kind of reading today. I wanted to go ahead and use my new deck that I got. It is actually the Empyrean deck from Threads of Fate. If any of you are familiar with Threads of Fate, they are a fantastic deck making duo, Britt and Blair. They're actually doing a Kickstarter campaign at the moment to create a few new decks that are going to be coming out in the fall, I believe. And I know that some of you are also readers yourselves, so I will link it down below if you guys are interested in checking out the Empyrean deck and checking out the Kickstarter campaign. Just wanted to throw that in there at the beginning because I love them and I would love to support them and their work. And these decks are really beautiful. The Empyrean deck is all about transformation. It's a deck that really calls for us to look at our shadows. And I'm really excited to go ahead and use it for this reading because I feel that the theme for today is transformation. So let's see what wants to come out. What messages do we have for the collective? Okay, we have Thread. I apologize if you can't quite see the cards as well. They're very 3D and holographic, which is fantastic, but I know sometimes that means they might be a little hard to see. But we're starting off with Thread, and I'm feeling guided to read from the book on this, from the guidebook, because these cards have some really wonderful messages in them that I think will resonate. So for the card Thread, we have, let the layers of your life spill out. Lay them out on the table, sit with the gifts they bring you, the moments that have transformed you, the power you were born with, the pains you have endured. It is time to weave them together in a new way. Our lives are never-ending patchwork quilts that we get to tend to. Thread is letting you know that you already have enough fabric to keep yourself warm. We may struggle to make sense of the pieces of ourselves. We question whether they can truly get us to where we want to go. Our stories often don't look right on paper. We can feel like we're applying to a job we aren't qualified for, like the interviewer looking over our resume asking, how does being a stay-at-home mother prepare you for management? Don't chop your life up to make it palatable. Don't disrespect your experiences by haphazardly forcing them into a box they don't belong in. Let your life be wild roots, sprawling across the forest floor. An ignorant person may walk through the woods and be naive enough to think that the plants exist separately from one another, but we know that they are communicating with each other all the time. Your experiences and strengths, no matter how different from one another, are brought together in each moment, each being a piece connected in your epic tale. Keep stitching them all together. Wrap yourself up in the story of your life, knowing it is always enough. I love starting off with that message. I feel like with Thread here, things are really coming together in your life. Although maybe you've had some challenging experiences recently, I think that they're all meant to teach us and to serve us even when they don't feel like they are in the moment, and to bring us to our highest path and to our highest good. And we have another one that wanted to fall out here. It's Amplify. Try and get this so you guys can actually see the words amplify. Another gorgeous message. Intuitively, I feel like with amplify, you're really coming into your own. Like your personal skills, your abilities is what I'm hearing, are really reaching new heights. And the more that you continue to develop those skills and those abilities, a lot of you are light workers, you're healers, you are readers, you read tarot. And the more that you begin to use these skills and the more that you level up in that way, the more you're really going to start to see that abundance come in for you. And you're really just going to be stepping into a new version of yourself, a new enlightened version. Six of Wands. Yeah. Another confirmation of just a lot of success and a lot of, I'm hearing the word notoriety. I know that word kind of tends to have a little bit of a negative connotation, but in this case, some of you are going to be really successful and in the public eye. Some of you may be sharing a skill with the world or a healing ability that you maybe previously thought you wouldn't be able to do. But this is a really strong confirmation and a strong sign that this is going to bring you a lot of really great things in your life, a lot of success, a lot of abundance, all of those wonderful things. Yeah, with the Nine of Swords, I feel like you're a little bit worried about starting this business or sharing this skill or this ability that you have with the world, just because it's asking you to show up in a new way. But that's why I think the theme of this reading is transformation, especially with thread here and amplify. It's like you're really learning to come into your own, and I'm hearing learning how to pay less mind to what others are thinking about you and your situation and what you have to offer. Because I think a lot of the times what holds us back from doing the things that we want to do, or presenting that new skill or that healing ability or whatever it is that we're currently working on or that we want to share with the world, a lot of the times what holds us back is the fear of the opinions of others. What are people going to think if I do this? Or are they going to think I'm a fraud? Imposter syndrome, right? That's what I'm hearing. A lot of us have this, and it's this kind of nagging voice in the back of your head and your subconscious telling you, keeping you from doing those things, right? And I think the more that we learn to let go of that voice and the more we learn to release the opinions of others, the more you're really going to have a chance to shine. And we have Two of Wands. Yeah, it's kind of like you're at a turning point in your life where you're being guided and being asked to show up as this new version of yourself, this empowered version where maybe you don't necessarily put so much weight on the opinions of others and what people think of whatever you're doing. And I know this isn't easy, but I think a lot of the times it's not about completely letting go of that little voice or those thoughts of wondering what people are going to think. It's more about rising above them and overcoming them despite having them, if that makes sense. And I think with this Two of Wands, you really are going to choose the right path for yourself. Sure, you might be in a little bit of a planning phase or figuring out logistics, or especially if you're starting a business, you could just be thinking, okay, practically, how am I going to do this when I still have a full-time job? Or how am I going to do this and show up as this new version of myself? But I think that there's so much good energy ahead for you. Yeah, and just as I said that the Chariot wanted to come out, with the Chariot, this is just really strong, positive forward movement that despite those things, despite those fears, you're going to do it anyway. And you're going to show up in your power, doing exactly what you want to do. And I'm getting a message to just really bring it back to the theme of this reading, which is transformation. It's like a lot of you have been in hermit mode, just kind of doing you, being alone with your thoughts, being in a little bit of a period of solitude. And solitude's not necessarily a bad thing. I think that we need that in order for us to self-reflect and for us to grow and for us to connect with our higher self and connect spiritually with our highest path. And since you've begun to do that, it's like you're coming out of that period and you're moving into this fast-paced period of your life where you're going to have this abundance, this success. A whole new reality is about to unfold for you, is what I'm hearing. I think I'm going to leave it at that, you guys, because that's, I think, a really strong message, and I'm really excited to see how this manifests for all of you. Let me know how it's resonating down in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one.